Hi, welcome back to another 1 hour class, approximately 1 hour class in the original Lotte Berk technique. Today I'm going to lead you through another full class from warm up to cool down. This is my third week or so back from experiencing some sciatic pain that was pretty severe. So again, I'm going to be just kind of taking things a little bit more slowly and just kind of working through my mobility issues. So please feel free to go more quickly or go more slowly depending on how you're feeling today. Equipment that you're going to need: sturdy surface, chair, couch, countertop, wall-mounted bar, freestanding bar, just something to give you some stability and support, and water if you need it. I do have a playlist here today that's new, so I hope you enjoy. We're just going to move to the music, we're going to stretch, we're going to strengthen, and we're going to have this 1 full hour approximately class fly by, hopefully, and all the while you're having a great time and enjoying yourself. So thanks again for joining me. I'm going to cue the music up. We're going to get the warm-up started. So if you remember, the warm-up and the cool-down are the same from class to class. And it's really a good way to kind of gauge your flexibility. I'm using it to gauge mine as I recover from my injury. Okay, hopefully that's not too loud. We're going to come with our feet about hip distance apart, making sure we have enough room, keeping everything nice and tight through that core. Bring the arms up. If you can, give me a little arch back, otherwise just reach the arms up. We're going to swing down, double bounce, and come back up. So I want to make sure I have enough room. Here, we're going to come down, double bounce, and up. So just take your time getting nice and warm. You can bring your gaze to the ceiling. Trying to get nice and straight through the backs of those legs. And if you remember, we do about 8 repetitions or so per move. So you can kind of keep a little running total in your head to have about an idea or so where we are in the movement. So let's do a couple more. And last one, I want you to open those legs a little bit wider than hip distance here so that we can reach over with a nice flat back, trying to get nice and straight behind those legs. So really try to reach, again, keeping those bellies engaged, shoulders away from the ears, and just really feel a nice stretch through the backs of the legs, lower body. Now let's round over and see, I'm going to bend my knees just a tad. Try to keep the legs straight. All we're doing is just bouncing very lightly off the ground with our fingertips. So I might try to straighten my legs a little bit more this week. Seeing progress with each passing class is very encouraging. Now let's combine those 2 moves, the reach and the tap. Take your time getting warm here. Just going to readjust my stance so that I feel a nice stretch without overdoing it. All right, let's do 2 more. Now, stack the hands. I want you to come on up, over, and try to shoot the hands through the legs. If you need to do a slight bend in the knees, I just bent mine. Feel free. Otherwise, try to keep nice and straight through the backs of those legs if you can. I'm trying to work my way back. So up, over, and through. Now just shoot through. So we're rounding over and we're trying to take the gaze through the legs, rounding through, shooting through. Now grab onto your ankles or your shins and just bring that chest toward the legs. Let's stack those hands again and do little figure 8s, drawing them over the toes. Really keeping the hips still, feeling that spine move back and forth, waking up the spine. Now I'd like you to bring the feet together, very slowly roll up to stand. I always feel a stretch right here. We're going to come center, bring that right hand into the right thigh, up and over with the left. So really think up and over, staying nice and long through that side body as we get everything warmed up through the side. We are going to be working those waistlines today. And let's reverse, left hand into left leg, and up and over. Let's do a few more. Really feel a nice stretch right through this side. Let's bring both hands to the center. I'm going to grab onto my elbows. You could always grab onto your shoulder blades. Think up and over as we move side to side. Again, you're keeping that belly nice and tight, shoulders away from the ears. Keep a soft bend in those knees. We don't want to lock them up. We want to keep everything nice and safe. Couple more. Now bring both hands down to the side. Bring the shoulder up. Again, stretching through the side here. Really reaching and getting everything nice and warmed up. Do a few more. Then we're going to open the shoulder girdle up. Let's take that right arm. Let's do some big shoulder circles, big arm circles back. Making sure you have enough clearance behind you. And then reverse other arm. Not reverse the circle, but change arms. We never want, in this class, we are always opening up, never rounding down. All right, so we're going to do our figure eights, our big ones. So bring the arms up over and imagine that you're slapping the tops of the hands together behind your back. So up, over, and slap. Up, over, slap. Good. Let's do a few more. I feel like this is the wrong playlist. Oh well, we're going with it. I had made a new one too. Just my tablet didn't catch it. All right, let's do a couple more, and then we're going to make these moves a little smaller. I apologize. Let's bring the hands to the side, soft bend in the elbows, and just up and over with those hands. Keeping those shoulders away from the ears, keeping those bellies nice and engaged, soft bend in the knees. Now we're just going to take our palms and imagine we're slapping the wall behind us. This is starting to warm up the pectoral muscles of the chest. Taking some nice deep cleansing breaths. Let's go up with that motion here. So I'm feeling biceps and triceps start to kick in as well. So this is for your upper body. You can move around a little bit if you're feeling the need to move those legs. Make fists and circle back. Perfect. Now let's bring those arms forward, and I'm going to turn to the side. I'm not clapping my hands together. I'm just imagining that I'm clapping the air, and again, you should feel those pectoral muscles of the upper chest start to bounce, start to wake up. Let's bring those hands together, straight here, and imagine we're hitting the wall behind. Keeping the gaze in front, keeping that core nice and tight. Think abs up and in. Soft bend in those knees. Now bend, extend. So getting those upper arms warmed up. Bend and extend. So we're almost there. Let's bring those arms down. Roll the shoulders back. Nice big shoulder rolls. Opening up through the clavicle. Again, open, right? Now let's bring the hands to the shoulders. Try to close those elbows together. I'm just going to open and close, getting those arms nice and warm. Getting ready for the work. We are almost through with the warm-up. This next move is another one to help warm up the chest. I'd like you to grab onto your forearms. And if you're not wearing sleeves, imagine you are pushing those sleeves up the arms. So we're grabbing onto the skin and just pushing up. Again, feeling those pectoral muscles wake up. And let's bring the hands down to the side. Turn your gaze over the right shoulder. Center, left. Center, right. Center, left. Bring that head to one side. Keep the shoulder down. And the other. One more time. Right. And left. And head rolls very carefully. One to each side. Maybe this is the right playlist. Alright, so we're going to now take our work over to our steady surface. I'm going to come over here to my wall-mounted bar, but you can always stay at your steady surface and chair. We're going to do a move called big bend and stretches. So I want you to start with those feet hip distance apart, as straight as you can be, right? In the backs of those legs. Extend the outside leg nice and straight. Tuck the tail under slightly, so we're giving ourselves a little pelvic tilt. Arms comes to the center of the room, head facing the ceiling, shoulders plugging down the back. So we're going to bring the leg up nice and high, give it a big bend and a big stretch. So this is my injured leg. So the goal here is really to try and get that leg as straight as can be. Just remember, I am having some mobility issues here. Last one. Little bend stretch. Keep that leg nice and straight. Tiny little curve behind that knee. Really pointing and accentuating through that front toe. And on my opposite leg, I'm keeping it nice and straight, pushing my weight through my heel, trying to stay nice and tall, not leaning back. Now we're gonna go back to big bend and stretch. We're gonna big bend and stretch. Bend, stretch. Keep going. Let's do 2 more, and then we're gonna go back to little bends and stretches here. Little bends and stretch. Stretch through that foot. Excellent. Now, why don't you give me a happy foot? You can bring that arm up, little pumps up, straight as an arrow behind that leg, really engaging the top of this thigh here, because it is top of the thigh work. Few more pumps. And now hold for me, release down, stretch it out. We always lengthen after we strengthen. Now we're gonna reverse side, so keep in mind this is my better leg, so I should have a little bit more mobility. Take a nice deep breath, feet hip distance apart. Extend that outside leg nice and long and strong. Arm comes to the center of the room. Tuck those tailbones forward. Tuck the hips forward in your little pelvic tilt. Plug the shoulders down and back. Bring the leg up nice and high. Bend, stretch. Big bend. I'll move my arm here so you can see. Big bend, stretch. Big bend, 2 to go. Bend, stretch. Keep it up as high as you can. Little bend stretches here. Tiny, tiny little curve behind that knee. As they really think about pointing through that big toe. Like I have a beam of light shooting ahead. Let's do a couple more. Now back. Big bend, big stretch. Big bend, big stretch. Trying to keep that leg up nice and high. Inside leg as straight as can be. Really getting the weight of my leg through that heel. Last one here, little bend stretches for me. Feeling the top of that thigh, lengthen. Feel it get nice and strong. Nice deep breath here. Give me a happy foot again. Arm can come up and little pumps up. Try to keep that leg as high as you can, as straight as you can. Little pumps, little movements, not even about an inch. Hold it nice and long and release and stretch. Take a nice deep breath because my heart is racing. Nice job. Okay, we're gonna work back with the thigh now. So make sure you're working the opposite leg again so that we're flip-flopping legs and you're not overly fatiguing one side. We're gonna do good dog today. So I'd like you to bring those feet together, really seal everything out from the heels up to the back. Open up into a little pizza pie shape. Soft grip. I have an underhand grip on my chair, but you can always do an overhand grip too. What we want to do is bend both knees slightly, and this time really think about slightly like leaning away from your steady surface and bringing those hip bones nice and high here. So let's rotate that outside leg to about, so I'm at about 7 o'clock if I were on a clock, or 5 o'clock on the opposite leg. Lift the leg up, plug it back in that hip socket, and we're just going to wrap that leg around. So imagine you're wrapping your leg around a tree. Here. Feeling the back of the thigh, which is your hamstring, as well as that glute kick on. So we want to try to shine our hearts up. I'm even taking my gaze up to where the ceiling meets the wall. And I'm wrapping, wrapping, wrapping. A few more wraps. And then we're going to pump up. Wrap. Wrap, wrap. Let's do one more wrap. Now pump up. Keep the leg plugged behind you. You may need to readjust your angle here. You may need to readjust that tilt. Little pumps up. Feeling the back of that leg. Remember, again, this is my left leg, which is my leg that I'm recovering. So it's getting there. Couple more pumps. Now, straighten the leg. Readjust your tilt if you have to. Give me a happy foot, little pumps up. So if your toes are pointing forward, you're feeling even up into that hip a little bit. Little pumps, little lifts. Let's do a few more. 3, 2. Now just hold it up nice and long and strong. Release down and stretch it out. So here, feeling it glute, back and side. All right, let's do the other side. Same setup. We're bringing everything nice and straight, nice and long and strong. Zipping up through the backs of those legs. Open up to your little pizza pie shape. Bend the knees and angle back a little bit. Try to plug those shoulders down the back. Wrap that outside leg a little bit behind you. So now I'm at 5 o'clock. Lift the leg, really plug that hip back, but keep those hip bones forward. And we're just wrapping up and over. Tiny move here. So I'm not doing an overly big swing, right? I'm really keeping the move small, concentrated, and keeping my gaze up toward where the ceiling meets the wall. So feeling this in the hamstring, which is the opposite muscle of the thigh we just worked, and in my glutes. Nice and long, nice and strong, nice and tight through that core. We're going to do a few more little wraps, and then pump up. All right, let's hold that wrap and just little pumps. So I adjusted my standing leg slightly, so I have more of a bend there, trying to really keep the weight distributed evenly between both sides of my body. And we're just pumping up, little pumps. Just lifting the shape of the leg, taking a nice deep breath, and we're lifting. Good, lift, lift, point through the toe. A few more here. Now, straighten the leg, give me a happy foot, keep it back on that angle, and little pumps up. So again, I'm feeling this traveling up into my waistline even. So it's really getting the whole outside of that leg and the back of that thigh. Nice and steady with the breath. Gaze up to the ceiling. Readjust your hips if you need to. Mine popped out. Let's do a few more. Hold that leg up nice and long. Release down. Give yourself a stretch. Switching sides here. We are going to work the outside of the thigh with muffin no more. So I'm ready to tackle muffin no more. Let me see. I'm actually going to have my chair face like this. So we're going to work that left leg again, or whatever the opposite leg was that you just worked. I'm going to grab a quick sip of water. Okay. So if you were at a bar, you would be holding on to the bar. But I'm at my chair, so I'm going to use my chair. I'm going to stick my leg out to the side, staying up nice and tall here through the torso. I'm going to relax my thigh bone slightly. So you see, I have a slight curve behind that leg. And I'm just going to start with little taps here. So you may need to readjust how close or how far away you are from your apparatus. If you were at the bar, the further away you were, the harder it would be. So I'm not too far away from my chair, but where are you feeling this? All the way up into here and the outside of that thigh. Little taps to start. So I'm tapping my foot on the floor, keeping my shoulders plugging down the back, keeping that core engaged. I just felt mine hanging out. Now ups. So I'm not tapping the floor. I'm just going up here. Little ups. Soft curve behind that leg. It may look like more on camera, but it's a real slight bend. Really want to try to keep that leg as straight as possible with a slight bend behind that knee. So it's not completely straight and it's not really bent. If that makes sense. All right, now let's swing the leg forward and back. Just the leg is swinging, right? My hips are staying still. Swing forward, swing back. Swing forward and back. You're doing amazing here. We're going to do a few more swings. Forward, back. Really concentrate on what you're doing. Forward, back. Let's do two more. Forward, back. Last one. Forward, back. Let's just straighten that leg. Give a happy foot and hold. 4, 3, 2. Relax down. Give this side a little stretch because you should have been feeling it all in that waist. Reversing sides. Same thing. Opposite side here. I'm sticking my right leg out. See, I'm sort of relaxing it in the hips. Soft bend here. Have to keep nice and tall through the torso. Start with little taps. Tap, tap. Again, you're feeling it up even into the waist, all along the outside of that thigh. And depending on, how your body is structured, I'm even feeling it in the back of the leg a little bit. Nice and soft movements, just little taps on this floor, keeping that leg straight out from the hip. Mine was traveling a little far back, so I just want to make sure I'm mindful of my position. Position is very important when it comes to the original because you want to make sure you're working what you're supposed to be working and not cheating yourself, right? Let's do a few more taps. Music is a nice tempo here, not too fast, not too slow, now just ups. little up. So I'm not tapping the floor now. This is a little bit more challenging than the tap because it's requiring you to keep that leg elevated. If this is too much, you can always go back to the taps, right? You felt them, they worked. Get ready to do some swings. Up, up, up. Let's just wait for the music. Hopefully it comes soon. Not waiting. Swing forward, back, forward, back. Try to keep those hips nice and still. Swing forward, back. If you ever need to take a break because your form is totally out of control, stop, readjust your position, readjust your form, and come back. I'd rather you do this with proper form than try to be a hero and push through and potentially injure yourself, right? So let's do a couple more. My leg is shaking. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Just extend that leg out to the side. Give me a happy foot. See if you can hold. Release down and stretch that side out. All right, let's work on the back of the thighs again. And the front of the thighs, actually. We're going to do the altar this week. So, I want you to face your sturdy surface. And hold on. We'll work that left leg first. Okay? Shoulders plugging down the back. So, I'm not holding on for dear life, but I'm using it to kind of give me some support and stability. Lift that left leg up, the opposite leg you were just working, and just go back. Back. So, we're just plugging the leg back in the socket, really not coming too far forward. Trying to keep that weight evenly distributed between both sides. I can tell I'm faltering a little bit because this is my injured leg and it's starting to fatigue. So I really need to do my best to keep my balance. Back, back, back. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Now lift to the side and down. So it's almost like a little hydrant move. So we're getting the glutes a little bit more. We're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. So I'm repositioning my chair here. So I'm not jumping too much into my right side, even though the left leg is working hard. Let's do a couple more, and then we're going to go to the back again. 2. Last one. Now just go back, 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 back. A couple more, and then we're going to hold and swap sides. So this is getting the glute again. 4, 3, 2, hold, release down, and I'm going to swap my angle so that you can see from the opposite side, but you can stay right where you are because you're just going to work the opposite leg again, or same moves, opposite leg. Okay, so lift that opposite leg up, and we're going to push it back, back, back. Nice, slow and controlled here, feeling it even into the waist, back of the leg, back, back. You're doing amazing here. If you want to tilt back a little bit, you'll feel it even more in the front of the thigh. Let's do a few more back, and then we're going to lift to the side. Back, back. 4, 3, 2, now up, down, up, down. This music's a little bit quicker, so we're going to try to keep with the momentum, keep with the tempo. This is my better side, so I have more luck this side. Up, up, down, keep going. And then we're going to do the backs again, a hold, and we're going to stretch. We're already at inner spirit and footwork. Up, down, 4, 3, 2, last one, and back. Little backs here, keeping the gaze forward, push it back. A few more, and then we're going to get a stretch. Back, back, back. Let's do 4, 3, 2, hold, release down, and you can move your stable surface out of the way for now. We're going to move into our stretch. So come on down to the floor here and grab your right leg, bring it into the chest, extend the left leg out, give me little circles with the ankle in each direction, trying to keep a nice straight back here. So circle right, circle left, swap legs, left leg comes in, right leg, circle that ankle around right and left, beautiful. All right, let's keep those legs nice and straight. Use your arms to push yourself back, and we're going to I'm going to switch so you can see what I'm doing. Happy point, happy point. Stretching at the tops of those legs. Keep it happy and just bring the heels up off the ground, which automatically causes your knees to push back in. Feeling a nice stretch. Let's bring those feet into a nice butterfly. And you can stay in a nice little flapping of the wings position, or if you want to, hold it and roll down. Think nose to toes. You can do that too. It just works best for me at this point in my recovery of my injury to just stay here and flap my wings. All right, so I'd like you to come to a nice cross-legged seated position. I'm going to just change the music, and we're going to work on our Kegel exercises, the pelvic floor exercises. If you remember, the Kegel muscles are those ones that that we use to stop the flow of urine or gas. This one's too quick. Okay. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes and imagine your entire body just kind of melting and relaxing. Bring your hands to your knees and relax your entire body, okay? So I want you to think about your Kegel muscles as your two sits bones, right and left, and your pubic bone and your tailbone. So I want you to draw the two sits bones together like magnets, and I want you to pull up and in on those muscles. Up and in, up and in, up and in, and I want you to hold there for a few moments. And very slowly release those muscles all the way down and relax, completely relax them, okay? So we're going to do that with the pubic bone and the tailbone. We're going to imagine they're being drawn together by magnets as well. So front and back, pull them together, and we're going to pull up and into the belly button, up and into the heart, up and into the throat, up and into the top of the head. I want you to hold there for 4, 3, 2. Now very slowly start releasing it down. When you get to the bottom, disengage and completely relax. Now let's take all 4 points, and they're being drawn together by a giant magnet. So really squeeze nice and tight. We're going to pull up and in for 1, up and in 2, up and in 3, up and in 4, up and in 5, up and in 6, 7, 8, we're almost there, 9, 10, and very slowly release everything out and relax, disengage. We are going to move on to the against the wall, which if you don't have a wall, you can easily do on your side. So I'll show you a modification for both. Okay. So I'm going to start on my right here, and I'm going to come down to my elbow, and I'm going to bring my knees at a 90-degree angle, okay? I'm going to extend my top leg, which is my left leg, nice and long and strong, and I'm just going to lift and lower, lift and lower. Now, if you were up against the wall, you would literally be up against the wall and holding onto the bar if you want to, or you would just be using the bar for support. Even in this position, I'm keeping my belly engaged, which is why my hand is here. And I'm just doing a nice slow and controlled lift, lower, lift, lower. Come up to the top, give me little pulses, little lifts, lift, lift, lift. Good, nice and small and controlled here. This is for back of the glutes, backside body. Lift, lift, lift. 2 more, lift, lift. Now give me a soft bend here and go back. Little moves here. Just bringing the leg back behind you. So if you're against the wall, you're going to obviously be stopped by the wall. If you're not against the wall, you imagine that there is one there that's stopping you. Back, back, back. Straighten the leg. Little bend stretch. Point to the toe. Little bends, little stretches. Breathe. Breathe. We're almost there. Bend, stretch. Reach. Belly nice and in. Shoulders plugging down the back. Working that top leg. 4, 3, 2. Now just hold. You can give me a happy foot. Bring that leg up high. Release down. You can even draw that leg in front of you. And you can come and sit up and give it a nice little stretch. Or you can stretch on the floor. Normally I'd be able to stretch on the floor, but my lack of mobility on this side prevents me from doing that this week. Okay, let's switch sides here. So now I'm on my opposite arm, and I have my legs at 90 degrees. So I'm going to keep this lower leg down. We just worked it. This upper leg is just going to come up and down. So we got the slower tempo here. Really doing our best to work that leg nice and slow and controlled. So I gotta move my position just a bit. I'm not swinging. I'm doing a nice and controlled lift and lower. And if I was against the wall, the support of the wall would be helping me as well. Like I said, you could always reach up and hold on to a bar if you have one. Up, down, just stay up and pulse. Point to the toe, tiny little movement here. I want you to think more about the lifting than the lowering. Up, sink, up, a few more. Then we're going to do the backs again. Up, 4, 3, 2, little bend here, back. So try to keep that leg from swinging too far forward. So you want to concentrate the motion in the back. So think half banana. We don't bring that, we're not doing half banana, but like half banana, we're not bringing that leg overly forward. We're trying to keep it nice and controlled and keep the work centered in the backside. All right, a few more here, and then we're going to bend, stretch, and stretch, stretch, stretch. Nice, really thinking about tiny little curve behind the knee. Stretch through the toe, stretch, stretch, stretch. A few more here, and then we're going to hold, and we're going to give our glutes a stretch. Stretch. Point. 4, 3, 2. Happy foot. See if you can hold up there a little longer. Release down. Now you can always bring the leg forward and give yourself a stretch this way. Or push yourself up to a seated position and bring that leg around. Give that glute a little relief. Okay, so let's go into some hoovers. We're just going to do 5 on each side so we can get some upper body and chest work. So hoovers, I want you to work the left leg first, the opposite leg of what you were just doing. We're going to bring the arms about a little bit wider than shoulder distance apart. Really get this leg up nice and high. Drop your nose down to the floor and think forward, back, lift. Down again. Forward, back, forward, back. Try to keep that leg up nice and high. Forward, back, forward, back. 2 more. Forward, back, forward, back. Last one. Then we swap legs. Forward, back, lift. If you want to give yourself a quick child's pose as you switch sides. Now the opposite leg is going to come up in the air. I want you to remember to keep that belly nice and tight to the spine. Drop down, forward, back, up, down, forward, back. Keep this leg up high, no one wants to fall. Forward, back. Last 2, forward, back. Last one, forward, back. Quick stretch back. And come on up. So we're going to come on up to our chair. And we're going to work the calves and start working the thighs. So we're going to do what we did last week, if you remember. We're going to do our calf work in a nice wide second position. So my knees and my feet are both tracking out slightly. And we're going to come up on the balls of our feet if we can. And we're just going to go floor off. So just down and up. This arm can come out to the center of the room, or you can keep it on the thigh keep it on the hip if that feels good to you. So a little down, up, floor off. Thinking about really engaging the calves all up the backs of the legs as we feel a nice stretch here. Floor off. Keep going, down and up. Let's do a few more, and then we're just going to go up. 4, 3, 2, just little ups. Trying to keep up with the pace of the music, which thankfully isn't too much. I kept the BPMs on the slow end as I am recovering. But we're just going up here. Up, 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 up. Now let's combine the two, okay? So we're gonna go floor off, then half up, floor off, half up, floor off, half up. So hopefully you're feeling the heat building, even in the thighs, because we are gonna go onto serious thigh after this. Half up, floor off, half up, floor off. Now we're gonna add a little bend stretch to this, okay? So bring everything nice and strong on the floor, nice and flat. We're gonna bend, stretch, off, floor. Bend, stretch, up, down. Bend, stretch, up, down. Bend, stretch, up, down. So getting the thighs ready for serious thigh. Also working the calves. Try to imagine that you are pulling the muscles up off those knees when you come up. Keep the shoulders plugging down the back. Belly is engaged. Let's do 2 more. And because I love you, come up and just end with some little pulses up, up. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and relax down. Shake everything out. We are gonna go into serious thigh, where we're gonna actually be working with everything sealed shut this week. So it helps get the inner thighs engaged as well. Okay, so bring everything together here and come up on those toes so you're in like a little chair position. And we're just gonna bring the pelvis in and out. So bring the hip bones forward and back. Shoulders plugging down the back. Trying to get as low as we can where we're feeling the thighs kick in. So we're in the work zone with the thighs. Even though they're stable and steady, we're not moving them. We are feeling the heat build. In, out, in, out. Now bring the hips side, side. You can come down a little lower. We're not moving up and down. I'm just getting into my work zone here. So I'm feeling the thighs burning, and I'm working the waist side, side. Now, keep the waist steady. Twist the knees from side to side. Be really gentle with this movement. If you need to drop the heels at any point, if it becomes too much, please feel free to do so. And as always, take a rest if you need it. Side, side, side. All right, come center. Open and close. Come down to that work zone. Think about drawing the thighs together, working inner and outer thighs. Open, close, open, close. 4, 3, 2, stand all the way up. Come down and up. Come all the way down and up. Stay down. Lift the heels if you can. We're going to do a little combo. So bring the hips forward, back, drop down, come up, open, close, in, out, down, up, open, close, in, out, down, up. I got that one messed up. In, out, down, up, open, close, in, out, down, up, open, close, in, out, down, up, open, close. 2 more, down, up. Last one, in, out, down, up, open, close. Just keep opening and closing. See if you can drop down a little bit more. 4, 3, 2, and come on up. Let's take a stretch. Give yourself a nice 90-degree L stretch if you can. Over that chair. Let your heart rate come down. I want you to wrap one foot around the opposite ankle. Keep this down, this heel down, and draw those hips toward your steady surface. Feel a stretch all the way up through the back of that leg. And switch. Opposite foot wraps around opposite ankle, opposite heel on the floor. Pushing the hip bones forward. Feel a stretch through the back. All right, so we're going to inhale up. And we're going to bring one foot up and over our surface. Exhale down and really rounding down over that leg. Now you can do little fold overs here. Straighten the leg as much as you can. Remember, this is left. Left for me. Whoa, sorry. My left leg is a little bit, see, unsteady. So you can fold over. You can bend and stretch the leg. So right here I'm doing some little bend stretches. Or you can just simply hold. You do what works for you in this stretch. Inhale up, bring that leg off, grab behind, and let's stretch the quadriceps. So I'm pulling my leg back as I'm drawing my hips forward, feeling a stretch down the front of that thigh. Release down, let's do the opposite side. Inhale up, exhale, bring that foot up. And remember, fold over, bend and stretch or hold. This is your opportunity to kind of customize the stretch to what works for you and your body today. Let's do a few more. I'm going to hold. Inhale up. Exhale, bring that leg behind. Draw it back as we pull the hip forward. Hold. And release down. Let's come on to our feet under the bar work. So I'm going to just turn my steady surface over here, and we're going to come up for our abdominal series. So I'm going to take a quick sip of water. Check my time. All right, so if you are working with a bar, your feet would get tucked under the bar, or you could always push your feet against the wall, or use a chair, an ottoman, something that you can push your heels down into. Okay, so the trick here is to have a soft curve behind those knees, and I'm pushing my lower back into the ground. So let's bring those arms up and over the head to start, and I want you to tilt and grip. So come on up and grab the backs of your legs, bring the gaze to the belly button, and we're just going to do little fold overs to start. So I'm looking at my belly button, pushing my low back into the ground, and I'm just folding up and over. If at any point in time this becomes too much for the neck, you can always bring the hands behind the head and support your head in your fingertips, pushing the weight through the fingertips. Really try your best to get those shoulders up as high as you can. Taking some nice deep cleansing breaths. Now, bring one hand behind the head. I have my left hand out, and I'm just going to do little reaches up with the left hand. Again, my gaze is at my pubic bone, at my tail, at my belly button rather. I'm keeping my gaze over my abs, and I'm thinking about drawing my ribs over my abdominals here. Let's swap. Left hand comes behind the head. Right hand is just reaching forward. And we're breathing. We're having fun. We're getting a nice tight core. Up and over. Low back pressing down. Heels pressing into that surface. Keep that lower body steady. Now, stay up here. Pulse the arms back. Keep the gaze over the belly button. If this is too much, you can always bring one or both hands behind the head. Pulse. 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 We're going to do a few more pulses. And now walk the arms. Little arm walks here. Almost ready for a break. Again, if at any point you need to take a break, take it and join me again. Adjust your form. Get everything nice and steady. We are working the abdominal region here. A few more. Now just hold everything. Gaze steady. Come down and relax. You can roll the tailbone up and down to kind of stretch everything out. All right, so now we're going to do flat back. So again, push that low back into the ground, pushing the heels into your steady surface. Your gaze is at the ceiling now, so we're reaching the arms overhead. And we're going to do arm walks again. So lift the head, neck, and shoulders, and take your gaze at the ceiling, and just walk the arms like you did in the fold over, except this time the gaze is up and not at the belly button. Walk. Good. Keep walking. Now, one hand behind the head and lift up toward the ceiling. One arm is extended. Lift. And we're lifting through the abs, trying to keep those shoulders up nice and high. Low back, nice and flat. Lift, lift, lift. Let's do 4, 3, 2, swap. Other hand comes up. Gaze is still at the ceiling. Up, up. You got this. Keep breathing. Concentrate on what you're doing. Those muscles need that oxygen to keep going. Up, 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 up. Both arms up. Now reaching for the sky. We're going to get a quick break after this. Up, up, up. Keep going. Up, up, up. Last one. Hold. Reach. Come down. Draw the arms over the top of the head. Roll in and out through the pelvis. All right, we're going to whittle that middle even more with our waist whittlers. I have a nice little series here for you today. Threw in a couple of little fun extra moves. Okay, so we're going to go back into our tilt and grip fold over position. So draw the low back down onto the ground, heels pushing into that steady surface, reach up behind the legs. Now you can bring the hands across the chest, behind the head,
on the shoulder blades. You do what works for you. Today, I'm going to stay on shoulder blades so you can see what I'm doing. And we're just going to do little lifts up, up, up. We're going to do a couple of these. Now stay high and do Oreo rolls. So roll, make a circle in one direction, keeping the shoulder blades up nice and high. And then we're going to reverse. Ready? Reverse. Go the opposite direction. Rolling through that torso. Think about your obliques. Think about your six-pack. Think about your inner core muscles. Let's do two more. One, hold steady. Ready? Twist, twist, twist. Tiny, tiny movements. I like to imagine here, I'm going to bring my hands behind my head, that I'm like stuck in a little tube and I can only move so far in each direction. Twist, twist, twist. Now let's add a little spice to this. Ready? Let's kick it up a notch and twist, twist, twist. Quick little twists called tick, 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 tick. Little twist, 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 twist. Tiny movement, barely moving. Twist, 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 twist. Now twist to one side, fold over. Center, twist, fold over. Center, twist, fold over. Center. I told you this is a good one. Fold over. Center, twist, fold. Center, twist, fold. Center, twist, fold. Let's do one more each side. Let's do one to the right, one to the left. Come center, relax down. Bring the arms above the head. Bring those feet down to the floor. You're gearing up for elephants. So take a minute and give those abs a chance to kind of reset, rolling in and out through the hips, through the tailbone. Okay, so your feet are either under a couch, up against the baseboard. Mine are under my sturdy surface. We are going to push the low back down into the ground again. Upright the head, neck, and shoulders in a tilted grip position. Bring the hands behind the head. Now remember, elephant, we stay up. We never come down. So we stay up and get progressively higher each time. We're going to go 12. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bring the soles of the feet together. Upright the head, neck, and shoulders. Bring the palms together and shoot, shoot, shoot. Keep going. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Let's do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, and everything can come down. If you want to bring your legs to one side or leave them center, bring them to the opposite side. I like to do the side to side. I feel a nice stretch. All right, if you're on your side, push yourself on up. We're going to come into our sardines. So we're going to come into our nice C curve here. Bring the hands behind the legs. Slowly and carefully roll down so that the head, neck, and shoulders are still up off the ground. And we're going to float the hands over the carpet, over the floor, and just reach. So my low back is still on the ground. My gaze is still up and over the belly button. We're reaching, reach, reach, reach. A couple more, and I'm going to pulse. 4, 3, 2, little pulses, little moves. Up, up, up. Keep going. Up, 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 up. Now let's do the same thing here. We're going to actually do Drunken Sailor. Bring the hands up. And we're going to imagine that we are trying to grab onto this rope and we keep missing. Really bring those head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. Reach, 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 reach. Keep both arms up and back, back, back. Keep going. Low back still on the ground. Gaze still over the belly button. Back, back, back. 4, 3, 2. Hold. Release down. Give yourself a stretch. We're not done quite yet. Take some nice deep cleansing breaths. Now, let's bring the feet back here. We're going to tilt and grip again. So come on up and get into that tilted and grip position here. And we're going to do some side reaches to work the obliques, okay? So we're going to reach 2 times each side. Twice to the left, twice to the right. Twice to the left, twice to the right. Keep going. Left and right. Twice to the left, twice to the right. Now single it out. Little singles. Gaze over the belly button. Low back on the floor. Side, 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 side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax down. We're going to do that long lever crunch we did last week. So I want you to stack your feet. I want you to bring your arms up by your ears and see how I have my hands clasped and my arms are cradling my head. Okay, low back is down. We're going to lift and lower. Lift, lower. Up, down, up. Let's do 4 more and then we switch sides. 3, 2, and by switching sides, I mean feet. Up, down. If this becomes too much, you can always bring the hands behind the head. Up, down, because it is kind of intense. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last chance to relax here. Bring the heels together in a nice long diamond shape. Upright the head, neck, and shoulders. Shoot through the legs again. This is palming. Up, up, up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Reach. Relax down. Bring those knees into the chest. Roll yourself up back to a seated position. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, sweep one arm out and over. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, sweep. Last one. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, and sweep. Time to move into escapes and no escapes. All right, so if you have a bar, you can push yourself up against the wall with a 1-hand distance between yourself and the bar. Bring the arms up and keep everything pushing back through the head, neck, and shoulders against the wall. If you're here on the floor with me, we're going to round into that little C curve. Imagining that a gust of wind came and blew those abs nice and tight. My hands are coming by my feet, and we're going to start with legs together, happy foot alternate. So I'm going to push back slightly. Happy feet. Now I'm going to show you the first level. We just come up and down with those feet. Happy feet still. Just alternate, lift, and lower. So I'm going to turn so you can see even better. Up and down. Okay? Now you can do both at the same time if you want to. It'd be up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay? So you do what works for you. I'm going to stay with the alternating. Let's do 5 more on each foot. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now we're going to just add a point to this, a point of the foot. So same position for everyone. If you're against the wall, same. On the floor, same. We're going to happy, point, and then bring it down. So happy, point, happy, down. Happy, point, happy, down. And just alternate here with me if you're in level 1, which is fine. That's where I like to stay. Level 2, you would bring both up. Happy, point, happy, down. Happy, point, happy, lower. Happy, point, happy. So that's what you would do in level 2. Otherwise, you're working the low abs in addition to the tops of the thighs. We're going to do 3 more each side. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Now just give me little shimmies. Shimmy it if you can. If you're on the floor, you would keep them on the floor. Otherwise, lift them up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the soles of the feet together. Give yourself a little stretch. Now, no escapes. If you're against the wall, you're going to push yourself completely against the wall, and you're going to lift the head, neck, and shoulders off, okay? Pushing the low back in for support. If you're on the floor here with me, you're going to stay in that C curve, same position you had with the escapes. And we're going to do Russian dolls. That's the no escape of the month. So if you remember, it's a happy with a bend, stretch, and we go happy, bend, stretch, happy, bend, stretch. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Happy, bend, stretch. So keep the foot in happy and just bend, stretch, lifting and lowering. Or you can do both at the same time. Keeping them together. Try to keep that bend small as you can. As I said, I'm still recovering, so I'm going to come back here down to level 1. And we're supposed to do 26 of these in total. So I estimate we probably have about 16 left. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, give yourself a stretch. We're going to head on over to our bellies for some tummy time. And then our final stretch. So come on down to the floor, stacking one arm over the other. You rest your forehead on your palms, and you are going to draw the abs up and away from the floor as your pelvic bones are making contact, okay? So here, we are just going to lift the legs and do little squeezes in. And if this is too much, you could always do one leg at a time. I finally progressed to the point where I can do both. Squeeze those inner thighs in. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, squeeze out. Little squeezes out now. So imagine the outsides of the legs working. Out, out, out. 4, 3, 2, and release down. All right, so I want you to bring your arms to your sides. I want you to put your head down on the floor, pushing your hands into your thighs. Upright the head, neck, shoulders, hold. Come down. Bring your head up and hold, pushing your hands into your legs. Activates the triceps. Release down. One more. Lift and press and hold. If you want to bring those legs off the floor, you can. Relax down. Push yourself into a child's pose as we begin our final stretch. So you're reaching forward. You're going to come on up into a tabletop position. We're going to arch the back up and hollow out. Arch the back up and hollow out. One more here. Arch the back up and hollow out. Sit your bottom back on your heels. And we're going to lift the legs off the floor, stretching all the bones in the tops of the feet. So this is a little bit intense for some people. You could always do one leg at a time. I just felt a little crack in my legs here. Let's swing those legs around. Open up into a nice wide straddle. Bring the hands behind the back so you're sitting up nice and tall, and just push yourself forward. Feeling a nice stretch to the backs of those legs as we start getting everything stretched out. Now bring your arms forward and crawl toward the end of the workout, right? Reach forward, round down, crawl, crawl, crawl. Now just push forward. Imagine that you're rolling dough. Excuse me, and push forward. Come center, inhale up, turn to the right leg, right hand comes behind the back, exhale and fold over in the stretch. Or you could hold. You do what works for you. Center, opposite side, inhale, left hand comes behind the head, reaching over with the right. Or hold. Let's bring both arms to the center. We're going to come down. We're going to swoop over to the left. Left hand comes inside that leg, right hand comes up. We're looking at the ceiling. Opposite side, sweeping the right hand into the inside of the right ankle if you can. Lifting up through the left, and we sweep. And look up, open the chest. Again, sweep. Look up, open the chest. Let's do one more each side. And we're going to sweep. Look up, last one, sweep. Look up, bring those feet together. Happy feet. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Like I said, you can, again, fold over or hold. Inhale up, exhale down, curve back. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Inhale up, curve back. Last one. Inhale up. Fold. Inhale up. Curl back. Come on down to the floor for me. Bring yourself into a bridge position. Feet are hip distance apart. Arms come above the head in almost a goalpost. Bring those hips up to the ceiling. Stretch to the front of the legs. Drop the tailbone down. Bring the hips back up. Drop the tailbone down. One more. Bring the hips up. Drop the tailbone down. Bring those knees into the chest, pushing the shins into the hands. Rock and roll back a couple times. Cross the ankles, hands behind the head. Upper body stays still, knees into chest. Reverse, ankles, again, knees to chest. Curl up into a nice tight ball, roll up however gracefully you can get there. And I'd like to thank you so much for joining me for another full class in the original Lotte Berk technique. Excuse me, I hope you feel invigorated, stretched out, long and lean. Come back again for a class next week, same time, same place. We'll use the same equipment and go through a whole different set of choreography of moves from the original technique. Thanks so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.